Welcome back to another drunk week of baseball. Some big storylines to follow in the MLB. Respect is earned, not given. And it's always going to garner myself and Jay's attention. Matt Olson, baseball's modern-day Iron Man. 820 consecutive games played, moving him into the top 10 consecutive games played streaks of all time. Speaking of another streak, Fernando Tatis is still yet to hit a ball over 375 feet this season. That shoulder surgery really, we might be witnessing the fall of Fernando Tatis. I don't know if he's coming back. Another streak that I guess we can count on every year now. Framber Valdez has opened the door to a conversation about being just a sore bitch once again. Suspended for 6 games after intentionally hitting Trevor Story. His own manager, A.J. Hinch, a very respected manager in baseball. This didn't feel like us. His exact statement to the media. That's a manager who would typically defend his players to hell and back. Is water wet? Does the Pope wear a hat? Do bears poop in the woods? Is Tyler Glasnow hurt? Yeah, all those things are true. Tarek Skubal, out for at least a minimum 2 to 3 months after having loose bodies and his elbow removed. Meanwhile, Skubal got a real body fired by the former AAA manager of the Tigers affiliate, making a reference to having his Skubals played with via text to a female reporter. Gabe Alvarez, just think just a little before you text. Come on, man. Top 5 player all time. Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Ichiro, Tony Gwynn, Sosa, Bonds, Griffey for BABIP. Jay, what's BABIP stand for again?
BABIP stands for batting average with balls in play.
Number 2 all time is currently Brandon Marsh. The caveman Brandon Marsh. Right behind Ty Cobb, who I could have said for a top 5 player all time. But he's right behind Ty Cobb. Go figure. But he's also before Shoeless Joe Jackson, Roger Hornsby, and Rod Carew. And all of those are Hall of Famers. Yeah, so all this and more on this week's installation of Drunks in the Pond. You know what to do. Like, follow, comment, subscribe. I know that we get the views and the listens, but it seems like a lot of you guys just aren't subscribed. Just do it. What does it hurt? Nothing at all. We appreciate you guys, and as always, stay drunk.
Yes, sir. Cheers, my man. And it is time for your weekly dose of Drunks on the Pond, episode 77. You already know who it is. Richie Six Beers with the opening, and then you have me, Jay the Kid, voice of the voiceless. And as Richie has said, it has been quite the week in baseball. And, you know, the one thing that he didn't bring up, which I'm very excited about because I get to drop the bomb, we have a tale of 2 Alex. And I don't mean A-L-E-X, I mean A-L-E-K. Now, what I mean by that is on a day where Alek Manoah makes his return to baseball since 2024, Alek Thomas finds himself designated for free agency by the Arizona Diamondbacks. And for the Phillies fans who are listening, you may know Alek Thomas as the man who hit the home run off Craig Kimbrell, I believe in either game 6 or 7. I know it was a game we lost because of Alek Thomas, but he has found his way to being DFA'd. It's interesting. Alek Manoah, I never thought we would see ever again. I thought that career was long over and gone. And Alek Thomas was a career that I thought was going to be prosperous, and I thought he was going to be great. It's been anything but, in all honesty. Crazy times in baseball, but I mean, how do you not start with the man who finds himself in more trouble on the pitcher's mound than just about anyone else in the league. I mean, Framber Valdez. I mean, what can you say about the guy that the mainstream media hasn't already said? Like, a blow-up start against Boston.
I don't know if anybody from the media has said it, because I've followed Framber's mishaps kind of well, because I've had him in fantasy the past 2 years or 3 years, and then this year I decided to not care about him because I don't like him on the field. But I don't know if the media has actually came out and said, you do realize that he does this to himself.
I would be stunned if the media ever came out and said that. But I mean, obviously, when stuff like this happens in baseball, everyone's got an opinion about it. Even the people on ESPN have an opinion about it. And it seems like the only time they really care is when it's got to do with the Dodgers or it's the playoffs. That's it.
Or Paul Skeens.
Yeah, or Paulie Skeens. But I think that's mainly just because of Livy Dunn. And that's being respectable.
Well, I mean, let's also give it to a guy who has, in his third season, has a 2.02 career ERA. I mean, he kind of deserves to be talked about often. Shohei level, I don't know. But it's hard not to talk about him. He is that good. He really is that good. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think Framber's the best way to start this episode, because compared to the yesteryear, where beanball and all that stuff was part of the game, it doesn't really have a place anymore. Not when everyone's throwing 95 plus and you could seriously injure someone. I mean, back in the day, like Jamie Moyer plunking someone with a 78-mile-an-hour curveball in the shin. Yeah, it hurts, but it literally shouldn't ruin your career. But 95 in between the shoulder blades, yeah, dude, you hit him in the back, but still between the shoulder blades, you could ruin the spine. I'd love to hear your official opinion on Framber Valdez and whether or not you think he is worth that contract.
It's tough. If you take out the two incidents, then I would say, yes, he is worth the money, and you can look at the blow-up start as something that happens to literally every pitcher. Like, every pitcher's going to have a game where they just get absolutely shelled, and they just got to look at the camera and be like, you know what, dude, everything felt wrong. I must have been tipping pitches because nothing was just going right for me. Now, if Framber Valdez took that route and, the first two things never happened, then, it would just be like, hey, Framber Valdez got his ass whooped in that last start, but you know what? He's the type of guy that can bounce back, no problem. Except that is not the route that Framber Valdez took. We all remember the situation where he crossed up his catcher last year and smoked him. But this was a different story for Framber in the case of he gave up 8 runs in, I believe, just 3 innings of work, which, I mean, that's tough. I mean, so what led up to it was Wilson Contreras crushed a ball for a home run. And then, just 2 pitches later, Wilyer Abreu homer just to take the score to 10-2. And, when you're losing 10-2 and it just feels like everything is going wrong, I mean, I can definitely see emotions playing a part. And, I mean, getting hit by a pitch it's been in the game for God knows how long, man, since the very beginning. You give up back-to-back jacks and, you want to try and drag your team into the fight. I get it. Is hitting Trevor Story in the back between the numbers the way to do it? You can argue about it. Now, I do appreciate the fact that you hit someone like Story, who's kind of just like a veteran. He's not really having that great of a year this year. Like, if you were hitting anybody, I would rather you hit someone like Story who's been in the league for an amount of time, and he knows how this shit goes. If you would have hit someone like, let's say, Marcelo Meyer or somebody like Roman Anthony, well, then it's a whole nother thing. Because now you're going after the kids, and I can't imagine Boston's going to be too happy about you getting all pissy upset and then start beaming the kids. Like then everything's off the table and now it's war.
In fairness, there is one person on Boston who might be okay with that, and that's Contreras. You heard his comments.
No, I definitely heard his comments, and I mean, he is the type of guy that you want to have around in case shit does pop off.
Yeah, but like it's a little left field for your veteran to say it's the kid's fault that we're not playing well.
Yeah, I don't understand where that comment came from. I don't. Blaming the kids for the team's shortcoming is certainly a choice. It's not one that I agree with. I think in terms of both interviews, I think Marcelo Meyer took the high road, which was absolutely insane coming from a kid that's only been in the league for what, a year and a half, year and 3/4?
If not even. He took the high road. I agree. He took the high road.
But like going back to your original question, like, I mean, this is the second time Framber's done something like this, and it just came out that he got a 5-game suspension, which, in all honesty, takes out one start for him. So it's one of those things where I think someone's got to sit down with him and just be like, dude, like, I understand it's a tough outing and we're asking you to eat some innings so we're not killing our bullpen. But seriously, man, like, you got to be able to keep your emotions in check. You can't just be going out here and throwing a hissy fit because you're losing now. Like, we're grown men in this sport. Like, stop.
Yeah, like, legit, that spaz out is just, it kind of sullies the game in, like, the weirdest way where you're kind of looking at it like, why would a grown man do this just because things aren't going his way? It's basically a tantrum from a toddler. Like, you teach 2- and 3-year-olds, you don't hit when you don't get your way. And what did he do? He didn't get his way and he hit someone.
All this temper tantrum shit has just got to stop. This can't be something that we're doing every time you have a bad start or someone pisses you off. You can't take it out on your teammates. Don't take it out on the opposing team. Like, if you want to go down to the locker room, put a bat through a wall, fine. Whatever. It can get fixed. Stop making your teammates and your team look bad.
Not even just that, but like, yeah, you said it though. Putting your teammates in a bad position. Because now your teammates have to defend you being an asshole without warrant by clearing the benches, and the bullpens even came out, and it's all because you had an issue that you weren't playing well. Unless there's some like deep-seated thing that therapy might not even be able to find that we don't know about. But a lot of people that I've read have flat out said, you think this is just anger management? It was just anger management. Give him a Zoloft and go out there and just pitch, dude. I'm not saying drugs are the answer. And I'm also not sponsoring Zoloft. But like, if you're going to wig out because something didn't go your way, I got news for you, dude. You're not ready for any job.
Yeah. Like, I'm genuinely curious to see which contract the pitchers have handed to a starting pitcher ages worse. Are we looking at Framber Valdez, which is going to take the number 1 spot over Jordan Zimmerman? I mean, are we looking at what are we going to see at the end of this contract? What are we going to see next year? I mean, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, watch out for the Tigers. They got all the pieces now. Like, because no one knows what Scooble's going to do after this year. Is Valdez going to be capable as a new number 1 for you? Like someone that can't manage his emotions when he starts losing? Is that who you're going to rely on to be your number 1 starter in the playoffs? I mean, yeah, sure, best of luck to you, but I mean, it can't be a positive sign for the Tigers that the guy that they just handed all this money to is struggling to keep his emotions under check.
Which is crazy to think because we've also watched him flourish as a number 1, as the guy. in Houston for more than a couple years. And it seems like at this point, ever since they got caught cheating, he's been kind of unfiltered in a way because things aren't going your way. You're going to cause a ruckus. It's a little beyond childish. I have a 2-year-old. Trust me. I know what a tantrum is. Tossing shit around the room because you don't get your way. It's because you also don't know how to verbalize your issues. Learn how to communicate. There's a big difference between you and a 2-year-old. You know how to communicate. 2-year-old doesn't. I'm not being a therapist. I'm not being a counselor. I'm just saying that should be common knowledge. You are acting like a child.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see what the Tigers do when it comes to starting pitching in the next couple of years. Because obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Skubal is a free agent after this year, and Framber only signed for a 2-year, $70 million deal with a player option in 28 and 29. So, like, if the Tigers aren't making any noise, unless they offer Framber a shit ton of money, he's probably not going to stay. And I'm not sure what their pipeline looks like. I mean, you always hear about Max Clark, and we used to hear all about Kevin McGonigal, who's still putting on a show in the majors, but like rarely ever do you hear about any of the pitchers in the Tigers farm system. So yeah, I wonder if they make a move for another starter in free agency or what they choose to do, because I just don't know where they go from here.
I mean, Max Clark is having a tough go down the minors right now. He has 4 for his last 47, and that ain't good.
And I mean, any knowledgeable baseball fan saw that Kev McGonigal was always the better prospect between the two. Like, Max Clark has the look, he's got the style, but does he have the bat that's going to be a full-time major leaguer? Like, is he going to be the guy that comes up? And like, rarely ever do we see guys who suck in the minors get the call up and all of a sudden are Babe Ruth. I don't look at Max Clark like that type of guy. Now, then again, I could be wrong. Max Clark could come up next week, barring an injury, and hit 457, 9 home runs, and then I'm sitting here eating my words like an asshole. It could happen. Will it probably happen? Probably not, but who knows?
But also, that's baseball.
Amen.
I mean, we talk about people who just come up and bang out in the show, and the first 35 games of their career, offensive players. You know who holds the record for the most home runs in their first 35 career games?
I do, but I'll let you handle this one.
It is a fan favorite of Jay and mine. It is Rhys Hoskins with 18 home runs in his first 35. You know who's second?
It's got to be Murakami, right?
Nope. It was that absolute flash in the pan Reds outfielder.
Aristides Aquino. That's right. Was it?
Yep. And what happened to him?
In the league for 2 years, I think, and then fell off the planet.
It wasn't even 2 years. It was less than a year and a half. Because I think he got hurt. And then everyone was just like, nah, dude, you don't got it. You came up super hot and no one knew how to pitch to you because you weren't even on the prospect radar. So they didn't have any scouting reports. But he had 15 home runs in his first 35. Number 3.
That sounds about right.
Is Murakami. Number 3 is Murakami with 14 in his first 35 career games. He is currently tied for the AL lead with Aaron Judge. Barring what happened tonight, I'm not keeping track of the stats from tonight. This is just from earlier. Murakami, I think you and I are both kind of eating our words from the offseason. We both said we wouldn't be surprised at what he did or what he can do or is doing, but we weren't expecting the power production that he has so far because we thought there was going to be an adjustment period. Most Asian players, when they came over, it takes them a little bit of time to get adjusted to American pitching. Murakami's nailing it, but there's a caveat. What's the caveat you say, Rich? The caveat is he's only doing it during night games. Because during the day, the dude is trash during the day. He's hitting like a $128 during the day. I don't think he has a single home run during the day. Maybe if he does, it's one or two. I saw the stat line earlier. I just don't recall it. We're not big on 100% being on top of things here. We're just on top of talking. We're not on top of paying attention to everything. We have lives. But it's so comical that you and I were kind of spot on with saying there's going to be an adjustment for him. We didn't even seem to account that his adjustment might just be playing outside during the day.
I have maybe a good point. Well, I'm not sure how many outdoor. No, they have to have a good amount of outdoor stadiums.
I don't know, because typically every single time I see any highlight from Japanese baseball leagues, from the KBO, it's usually an indoor stadium.
Yeah, I'm not sure about. There's got to be some teams that play outside. I can't imagine they're all dome teams.
You would think, but I don't know. No clue. 100% honest, no clue, because I think every single highlight I've ever seen has been in a dome.
I feel like every highlight I've seen has been at the Tokyo Dome.
You might be right. I think that's probably the only place I've ever seen highlights from.
Like anytime I see like a Japanese highlight, it's like a 700-foot home run. And I'm like, it's got to be the Tokyo Dome. And 98% of the time, it's Tokyo Dome. The Tokyo Dome for me reminds me of 3 home runs now. The David Ortiz bomb from like however long ago. Well, it's got to be close to 20 years now, if well over a decade at least. The David Ortiz bomb, the one Shohei Ohtani home run that was just absolutely crushed. And then when Travis Bazzana, no, I don't think it was WBC. I think it was when he was still playing over there like full time.
Okay.
I'm not sure who he hit it off of, but it was just an absolute bomb. And then the third home run I always think of just happened at this past WBC was when Travis Bazzana took like the first pitch. That was low. This thing was like a submarine in the dirt. Bazzana dug this thing out and just absolutely crushed it. I was like, Jesus Christ, what a swing, man.
Straight up golf swung.
It was the ugliest swing ever, but that ball was gone right off the bat.
You know what? I'm thinking I really do remember a couple Matsui home runs.
You talking Hideki or you talking Kaz Matsui?
Why would I bring up that one?
Have you ever seen Kaz Matsui's stats when he was playing in Japan?
Yes, he was a phenomenal player, and the only thing I think of every single time I even picture him in my mind is the jerk-off friend from Tokyo Drift that was friends with DK, because they both had that weird bleach blonde mullet. And I always think of him. I'm like, dude, that reminds me of Kaz Matsui. It's also because he was a Met for so long, and I was like, God, I hate him.
Shout out Jolly Olive from John Boy, because he recently did a video strictly on like Kaz Matsui, talking about how good he was in Japan. I didn't realize how bad Kaz Matsui was as a Met until he broke it down. I was like, my God. Like, he was legitimately awful for some time.
I thought he had like one or two good seasons.
I'll be honest. I know he went to Colorado and kind of pulled it back for a little bit.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I think, let me see. So his rookie year with the Mets, he hit 272. Pretty good stat line.
What year?
2005. That was 04. 05, he hit 255. Really wasn't that good. 6, he hit 200. Yeah, he really didn't have like a standout season with the Mets. Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I do remember during that exact time period, the NL East was stacked with second basemen. You had Chase Utley, Dan Uggla. Was Daniel Murphy with the Nationals at that point, or is that too early?
I'll be honest, it feels too early.
It is. It has to be too early, because 04 is when they became the Nationals after the Expos defunct And I believe that was still Jose Vidro as the second baseman for a season or two.
2005 Washington Nationals. Wow, look at that manager. Holy wow.
Who was the
Haven't heard
manager?
that name in a while. The manager was Frank Robinson, went 81 and 81.
Did he have 2 stints as their manager?
I believe so.
Yeah, he definitely did, because he was their World Series manager.
Yeah, that sounds right. Nah, I thought it was Davey Martinez.
You're right. You're right.
Wow, this 05 Nationals roster is quite the team here. So they had Jose Vidro play 87 games at second, so that was a good pull from you. Where it does get a little tight, though, is that so Jose Vidro played 87 games at second base. Christian Guzman played shortstop for them 142 games.
The Goose. I forgot about the Goose.
They also had a couple other infielders, which I completely forgot this dude even existed on the baseball field. They had Jamie Carroll.
Jamie Carroll. Ooh.
Played 113 games, did not have a single home run that entire year. And then the other infielder they had was Carlos Baerga, who played 93 games. So, I
remember Baerga.
The 05 Nationals, on paper, they probably shouldn't have won 81 games because the highest batting average that they had was, take a quick gander here, was Nick Johnson, who played first base and managed to hit 289. Absolutely insane.
Yo, Nick Johnson, man. Nick Johnson, dude, he was a quality hitter. If you look at his career numbers, he really was not bad.
Dude, there are some names I'm looking at that I'm just absolutely stunned by. Like Junior Spivey was on that team.
They had Vlad.
Wild. Are you talking Vlad Sr.?
They had Vlad Sr. Yeah.
Not in 05, they didn't.
No, I thought that he was part of the transfer from Montreal. Or was he there in 04?
Vlad Guerrero left Montreal after 2003. 2004 was his first year with then Anaheim, and then the next year they changed their name to the Los Angeles Angels,
which is a whole nother story of stupidity. But yes, gotcha. I thought that. I mean, he did play for the Nationals. That had to be late.
Only played for Montreal. Never played for Washington.
Why do I remember him wearing a Nationals hat, though? Whatever. That might have been promo work of him becoming the Nationals.
Gotta be honest with you for a second. I'm looking at Vlad Guerrero's baseball reference page. That's tough, dude. He left Montreal in 2003, finished 17th in the MVP race, went to Anaheim in 04 and won the MVP, putting up 39 home runs, 126 RBIs, and a 337 batting average, an OPS of 989. This dude almost had an OPS of 1,000 in a full season. My God.
I can honestly say it's less than 10 guys. I shouldn't say I can honestly say. I'm pretty sure it's less than 10 guys who have had a complete season with an OPS over 1,000. Correct? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sounds about right. Damn, dude. Look. Oh, my God.
Okay. Because
crazy
that's just
thing
a
is,
remarkable
man,
number.
Like, there were a lot of good years that year. And the fact that Vlad Guerrero had 21 first place votes, second place was Gary Sheffield, and he only got 5 first place votes. Like, Vlad Guerrero was just the undisputed MVP that year. 21 first place votes to Gary Sheffield's second before.
This was 04. Okay. So who came in third?
A third place was Manny Ramirez. He only got 1 first place vote. Fourth was David Ortiz, 1 first place vote. And then you got Miguel Tejada, didn't get a vote. Johan Santana, no vote. Ichiro, Michael Young, Mariano, Pudge, Kurt. Hell of a list of guys that year, but Vlad just outmanned them all.
It's a lot of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Some of them questionable.
That's
How
fair.
crazy is it to think? That's not something we talk about often. We don't talk about like snubs and like history because we typically stay topical. We talk about baseball history, not accolades history. How crazy is it that Manny never won an MVP?
I would say it's pretty crazy. Let me jump back here.
You look at his stat lines. Look at his stat lines from 98 through 2010.
He had a couple years where he was close there. Like, so 98, he finished in 6th. 99, he finished in 3rd. Then he finished in 6th, 9th, 6th. Then in 4, which was the Boston year we talked about, he got 3rd. 5, he got 4th. Next year, he got 18th. And then you jump to 2008. Between Boston and the Dodgers, he finished in 4th again. So, I mean, it's crazy. And it's even crazier to say that, like, yeah, you could just chalk it up to, like, bad timing. But there were, like, 7 years where he was in top 10 MVP voting. And someone just happened to have a better year.
But you also look at it as it's not someone. It could be 6, 7, 8 guys who had a better year than him. But you look at his stats from those years and you're like, how the hell didn't he? Like, there was years he batted .330 with 35 plus home runs, 120 RBIs. His OPSs had to be stupid as well.
He had like 6 straight years with an OPS over 1. Frankly, he had, hold on, because there's the trades. 1, 2, 3, 6. So he had 6 straight years, and then the next year he was back over 1. Then it dipped in 07, 08. He was back over 1. That was when he split time with the Dodgers. And then after that, he never got to the 1 point in the OPS. But yeah, no, he had 6 straight years where he was just killing it.
You mean to tell me that he never got a 1 OPS with the Tampa Bay Rays? Because that's who we remember Manny with.
Yeah, totally. Hard to imagine Manny in any other jersey except for Tampa Bay. Yeah, the White Sox in 2010. Jesus, man.
That's what I thought. His final season?
Final season was in 2011 with Tampa Bay when he went 1 for 17 with 1 RBI, batting average of .059, and an OPS of .118. So magically worse than
Still
Alec
one.
Bohm.
Yeah, that's bad. But still a 1. Go ahead, say
So
it's
bad.
not. But yeah,
unless 1 stops being a number.
Back to our. See, there you go. Let's deviate back to our normal programming here. How do you feel about the BABIP dilemma that's going on currently, with Brandon Marsh being the 2nd ranked BABIP player of all time? This is not something that Jay and I typically care about. We don't care about these type of stats like that, XFIP, crap like that, because they're anomalies, but they're also not anomalies too. They have a place, but this isn't what we like to talk about, because this is for the Jonah Hills and the people who got a 6-figure paying job straight out of college because they were really good at math. Not baseball, really good at math. Jay, how do you feel about Brandon Marsh being technically the 2nd best hitter of batted balls in play all time?
I mean, I think it's cool. I definitely think it's funny seeing Ty Cobb as number 1 and then Brandon Marsh as number 2 when for a while there all we did was on his name, which I completely take back. He has been an absolute all-star for us as of recent. I think the thing that impresses me the
past
most
year and a half
is that this, we're not talking like the best BABIP in like 30 at bats. We're talking best BABIP in a minimum of 2,000 plate appearances. So,
which is insane.
It's beyond crazy to me that, you know, this was someone that the Phillies traded for, and almost immediately there was just like a deep sigh that ran through the tri-state area. Because it was like, this dude couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a beach ball standing a foot away. and we just traded for him. Now, when you look at the stats, like Brandon Marsh was actually something special, and somehow Kevin Long was able to pull it out of him like a wisdom tooth. So, I mean, yeah, like shout out Brandon Marsh having a great year.
It's also crazy to think like the minimum 2,000 at bats, because Topper didn't play him every day. Topper didn't like to start him against lefties. Now he's an everyday player. I guess at this point, the anchor in the outfield. You have Adolis Garcia, who is, it's not necessarily that he's playing better than expected. His defense is incredible this year. You got Justin Crawford, who is going to experience growing pains. It happens. Every rookie goes through it except Ichiro that 1 year. Every rookie will have growing pains. Ichiro came over as a 37-year veteran in the Japanese league, and then played for another 94 years here. So yeah, I mean, the dude's in 17 and could still outplay most people in the majors. He's an anomaly. He doesn't count, right? Like, I'm not wrong in saying he doesn't count. He's an anomaly. No one is more prepared to show up and do whatever that day than Ichiro, all time. But you look at it,
Yeah, 100%.
Brandon Marsh has had, thank you. Brandon Marsh has had quite a few ups and downs in the city. Well, his Philadelphia tenure since we acquired him for Logan O'Hoppe, I believe. It was a 1-for-1.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Go ahead, look it up. But you've had the trials, tribulations of the caveman dealing with his own growing pains since he's been here, about becoming either an everyday player or playing under the microscope that is Philly. Everything on those lines. The big thing that he's done is he's persevered. He even got sent down to the minors to retool. Not last year, I want to say it was 24. Reconfigure his swing, figure things out, and that's when he really started to show up. He has not been extremely consistent until end of April last year. He's been the most consistent hitter on this Phillies roster for everyday baseball, besides the 3 true outcomes hitter that Kyle Schwarber is. You can't knock what Kyle Schwarber does, because no matter what, that dude's putting runs on the board, keeping us in games at the minimum. I mean, granted, he might hit a solo home run when you're down by 6, but guess what? He's still trying. Brandon Marsh has been our most consistent hitter besides Kyle Schwarber. And then you got Bryce Harper. I didn't want to mention this in the intro. Bryce Harper's quietly having a better MVP season than his MVP season. His numbers are incredible. And his pace, if he keeps up with it, he's on pace to hit 45 homers. He's on pace to bet next to 300. And I mean next to 300, like 3 or 4 points below it, 3 or 4 points above it. So within a 10-point window, basically, of 300. On pace to drive in over 110 runs. His OPS is going to be higher than it was in 21 when he won the MVP. And I think most importantly, he's playing elite ball.
I mean, it's hard to disagree.
I don't want this episode to be based solely upon the Phillies, but like, there's some talk that we had to say, because it's factual.
No, I mean, I think it's fair to give Bryce a shout out. I mean, as much as we all crapped on him last year for a seemingly down season, and then in the off season when Dombrowski made the comments and, you know, Harper kind of beat around the bush on his answer, and we were like, all right, Harp, like, we need you, brother. And then you go on TikTok and he's making like a banana smoothie and he's getting like blood pulled out of his arm, and we're just like, oh my God, like, what the hell is he doing? But no, whatever he's doing is obviously working, and it's keeping him in the talks of like, Bryce Harper's still an elite player. Like, all we've ever known from Bryce Harper is being elite. Like, from the days when he was on the copy of Sports Illustrated as a high school player, and, when he got drafted by the Nationals and clown question bro Bryce Harper throwing a helmet 30 feet outside of Hunter Strickland and then getting his face punched into the ground. Like, we've seen the good and bad with Bryce Harper. So it's like, it's like watching your child finally figure everything out in baseball. And you're like, oh my God, we finally have something. And now you just hope he can keep it up and not be like, baseball is fun, but my true passion is dancing. And you're like, okay, well, let's trade the bat. Let's trade the glove in. Let's get you in some nice shoes, and we're gonna dance our ass off. If you don't want to be an all-star in baseball, guess what, brother? I'm expecting you to be an all-star in dance. Get your shit together. Let's go.
Within the next 6 weeks, I want at least 20,000 TikTok followers. Come on.
You better dance, son.
Well, speaking of getting in the game, let's talk about the opposite. Getting taken out the game. Last night, Mr. Elite Bryce Harper got yanked out of the game via Mattingly. I don't think this is a power play. I don't think this was Mattingly, like, a point and stare, flat out being like from the other end of the dugout, like, you sit down, you're done. I don't think it was that. Obviously, we haven't seen or had comments about it. Besides, an altercation happened with Bryce Harper and a fan. Because, once again, we're going to talk about how dumb fans are. Hey, Jay, haven't we mentioned countless times there's a type of heckling you should do, and it's not meant to be demonstrative or cruel or scumbaggish?
Yeah.
Well, apparently last night, it's not even apparently, last night during the Phillies' absolute ass kicking they got from the Athletics, some absolute D-bag Phillies fan was heckling Bryson Stott into a very allegedly negative form, saying horrible things, and Bryce Harper allegedly stood up in the dugout and told this fan to go home. That's all I've seen. I don't think it's more than that. I respect it. I have zero qualms with a player telling someone to go home if they're being an asshole.
Yeah.
You're defending your teammate, your friend. Do it, dude. Say worse.
I'm gonna play the middleman on this because obviously I don't know what the fan had said, but obviously it was something along. It couldn't have been something good if Bryce Harper's like, dude, just go home. Like, I'm assuming this dude said some just off the wall and it did not go over well. In that case, then yes, always defend your teammate. I high key agree with that. Now, the part that I do kind of want to know is what was said to Bryson Stott. Like, what was being said at him? What was, like, were they talking about how he's not playing up to par? Was that the thing? Because, like, I'll be honest, whatever was, like, if they were talking about his stat line, if they were talking about, like, how he's not hitting well, if, they were saying all this about, he should be riding the bench or he should go to AAA, then it's like, yeah, like, is the guy kind of a dick for saying it? Yeah. Do I necessarily disagree with him? Not really. Like, if Bryson Stott has an 0 for game next, or like an 0 for 8 in the next couple, he's going to be batting under 200. Like, he's hitting 203, and I don't think they put the game in that they played tonight. I'm sorry, he's not hitting 203. He's hitting 209. In 110 at bats, he has 23 hits, and he currently has a negative 0.3 WAR. Now, I'm not one for jumping on players for playing like some guys just have a down year. It happens in baseball. It happens in every single sport. It happens with people all over the world. Some years you're having the year of your life. Other years, the 2nd of January, the roof's leaking. The 3rd day, you get in a car accident. The 4th day, you can't find the dog. It's just not your year. It happens, man. It happens to all of us. Now, where I also do not blame
Hang
the
on, Jay.
fan.
Hang on. The cops just pulled up. Stop.
All
The
right.
cops just pulled up out front and pulled some guy and they got him at gunpoint. Give me 1 second.
What the?
Yeah, like,
Let's say I see the cop car. That
did you
Jesus
see that?
Christ. Yeah. What the? Some parts of heckling I truly don't mind, because if you're calling out a player for just not playing well, then I agree. You should absolutely call out players for not playing well. They're getting paid millions of dollars. Like, you expect the guy who's making millions to be on top of his Sometimes he's not. It happens. And that's where the heckling comes in. Like, yo, stop. Like, I think it's time to ride the pine, brother. Just simple like that. I don't disagree with it. And then you may have some people who are like, well, he's got the same batting average as Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez has finished top 10 in MVP voting, it feels like, every single year, and has had multiple 30-30 seasons. He almost led the Guardians to the World Series. I hate that. I hate the thought of someone being like, well, you think Stott's bad, you should see Jose Ramirez. J-Ram? You want to talk J-Ram? That's where the conversation should end immediately. So what I'm really saying is that if Harper was standing up for Stott because this dude was just being an ignorant drunk, then all power to him. If Harper was just trying to protect Stott's emotions, or trying to just be a good teammate, I respect it. But if they're heckling because you expect more from your starting second baseman, then I don't necessarily agree with it. That's wrong.
Hey, listen, it's hard to argue with that logic. I mean, you look at these people who heckle in such a demonstrative and just disgusting type of manner. It's not welcomed. It's nice and refreshing to hear a player stick up for it. Besides Jarren Duran, who always gets painted in a negative light every single time he does it, but it's also because he doesn't do it the most classy way in reality. So, I mean, throwing up the finger is one thing. Throwing the British cigarette slur at someone is nothing good either. But you got Harper. All he allegedly did was tell someone to go home. It was everything that we've seen so far. And let's face it, this media isn't exactly quiet about when things happen. Everything that we've seen is all he said was go home. But I have a feeling that Mattingly kind of put his foot down and was like, listen, man, you might be the captain out in the field. I'm the captain in this dugout. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please. And we were sitting at the game last night. I was sitting 5 rows off the field in third base, and I was like, Felix Reyes is playing first now. And did a quick search, and I was like, Harper got taken out. That's kind of wild. And then, obviously, the news broke that he was taken out because of an interaction with a fan. Don't exactly know what that fully entailed. But as you said, if you're being an absolute asshat in the crowd and saying horribly negative things, you kind of deserve more than go home. Not kind of. You generally do deserve more than go home.
Yeah,
So kudos to Bryce being a nice Mormon.
I don't know. I just think this is the biggest no big deal thing for me, because I mean, listen, if you want to praise Stott for how he's been in the past, so be it. I'm fine with that. No problem at all. But it's not like you guys are losing ball game after ball game again. You're actually starting to turn the tide around. And if it's because of you're putting Edmundo Sosa in more than a couple days a week, and you're relying on him against lefty pitchers, something that Stott's having trouble with. And you know what, dude? If you're winning ball games, you just gotta shrug your shoulder and be like, dude, listen, I got your back, but I have to have the team's back overall. I'm not going to go to the manager and request to put you in if all of a sudden we're winning ball games again. Because now what's working, all that's saying, in my point, is that it's still not good enough. Like, no, winning should be good enough. You should be winning ball games, looking at what's working and going, okay, let's roll with this until it stops working. And then when we get to that point, we fix it and we see what works again. That's it. I understand that Bryson Stott may have some hurt feelings about, riding the pine, but you know what, dude?
Yeah.
You need to show us that you can have some consistency. When you show some consistency and you can be that everyday guy again, then yeah, you'll get your opportunity. But for right now, you're winning ball games with Edmundo Sosa in the game more than once. It's crazy to think. And I do think the Phillies can make a couple extra moves. Obviously, Alec Boehm sat out again tonight. Something's going on with him. And if that's the case, then what I'm doing is I'm sending Felix Reyes back down to AAA. Love the guy. Big bat who has a great future, but he does not have the contact for major league pitchers yet, which is fine. I don't hate it. But send him down, give him his everyday reps in AAA, and call up Carter Kierboom. Carter Kierboom's hitting the hell out of minor league pitching right now. He's a third base option. If you want, you can cut Dylan Moore, who's just absolutely god-awful in every facet of the game. This dude is a jackass of all trades. Was he? Okay, fine. So then that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would call up Carter Kierboom.
I agree. That's one less person.
And then just look at Boehm and be like, dude, not sure what's going on. Why don't you take some time down in AAA, get your head right, see if you can just get it going again. And, when things start looking up, we'll call you back up. It's not going to be a waiting period, but there's obviously something off. We need you to figure it out. We have guys down there who will help you figure it out. But right now, there's something not clicking with Alec Boehm. And I don't want to hit on the guy when we started talking about trading him in the offseason, but it's getting tough.
He also has a lot of off the field issues right now.
Yeah, no,
obviously can't be good mentally.
No,
but that's neither here nor there. I mean, you want to throw all this, the fans want to throw all this shade at Stott, but yet Boehm's still in the lineup. And thankfully, it's 2 days off. Let's see what he does with 2 days of trying to be stress-free, with the lack of better words.
Yeah.
And Sosa getting the start, which in reality, I mean, Sosa has been everything and more as your number one guy off the bench, your version of the sixth man. Sosa's done everything that he needs to. I mean, he always plays great defense. He has a very great bat against lefties. And most importantly, he's just a hell of a guy. Great ball player. Should be starting on more than half the league of their rosters. He should be starting. So, good on Sosa for always just having that number one mentality of I'm here for the team.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll take that. Jay, I'm super hungry. What should I eat?
My man, there is only one thing that you should be putting in your mouth at these late night hours. Some people go to a Wawa. Not a big late night Wawa guy.
Yeah.
If I get bloated, it's not a good look. But you know what does the trick for me? Good old Wolfgang's Wiener. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your official episode 77 of the Week Award. Brought to you by Wolfgang's Wieners.
Number one.
I really hate to bring him back up, but it's hard to find a bigger wiener than Framber Valdez. This dude is the definition of a hot dog himself. I mean, good God, brother. That's
a good one.
Listen, we talked about it in the beginning of the episode, and I'm not going to go back and go through all the information again, but obviously there has not been a bigger wiener in all of baseball than Framber Valdez. It's just, but at the same time, though, we do need to give a quick shout out to Wiener of the Week for last week, Mr. Dalton Rushing. who came out and he dropped a quote. Not sure how, truthful it is, but I do think it's worth giving him credit, to where he just said, I just want to be that guy who plays hard. I don't mean any ill will towards people. I care a lot about baseball. I care a lot about winning. And, I'm always trying to do right by the team. You know what, man? Good for you. Came out, you said something. If you're trying to change your character, it's a good start. Now, if you drop the quote and you don't change, my man, you may be the first multi-wiener in all of Wolfgang's history. Like, you may take home 2 Weenie trophies for this. No doubt about it.
You're going to be double fisting weenies. No one wants that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, go ahead.
Dalton Rushing included the word villain in his apology. Or not necessarily apology, because I don't think he warranted an apology, because in reality, it's just change your ways, not necessarily an apology. Like, you don't need to apologize to everyone you've wronged. But you also didn't wrong them. You were just a dick. Like, you didn't wrong them. You were just a dick. So, an apology wasn't necessary, but what you needed to do was admit that you were being kind of a villain. Like, low-key. Just try to start your own villain arc is so weird in professional sports at such a young age. Like, dude, you haven't even played 90 games in the majors, and you're like, I'm going to be the league's biggest asshole. I don't think that was his intention, but also he was just kind of like, I could do it. I'm kind of already there. And then he went, oh, man, no one's going to buy my jersey except other dicks. And obviously, jersey sales don't matter to individual players because you don't get commission. I mean, the goal in professional sports, if you made the roster and you contribute every day, you want to be a household name, not for a negative reason. Showboating is one thing. Some players can do it without doing showboat type things. Like Kyle Schwarber shows up every day, hits a massive home run, makes the city love him, gets featured on a hit TV show, Abbott Elementary, the same night that he hits 4 home runs in a game, which is incredible. Shout out Abbott, shout out Kyle Schwarber. He didn't need to become infamous. You got Dalton Rushing, who did some just cruel things. Said some cruel things like, don't make fun of someone's weight if they're a professional athlete. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's comical.
But
yes, like he created his own villain arc, and he's trying to retribute. I think.
No, I give him credit where it's due. I mean, he came out. He's trying to paint a better picture for himself, and if he does a good job of it and he's able to turn it around, then God bless him. Congratulations on your 1 Weenie award, which obviously you deserved at that time. But, if hopefully you stand by your word and you mean what you say, then it'll be your last one. That's just how it goes. But that's neither here nor there. Your Weenie of the week is none other than Detroit Tigers starting pitcher Framber Valdez. And with the Weenie of the week comes one of my favorite things of all of Wolfgang's history, and that is the Dog of the Month award. I gotta tell you, this thing is humane to try and eat. They sent me a sample of one.
Wrong word.
Inhuman? Is that the word I'm looking for?
No. No, it's just every human should eat it.
You can try it. I'll give you that. You can try it. But son, this thing packs a punch. And what I mean...
Oh, yes, agreed. But inhumane is like eating dog meat.
True. Let me just tell you what's coming on.
We're not doing that. We love them.
This special dog is called the Major Leaguer. You can see where it comes from. This is a hot dog that obviously it's obviously Wolfgang's. We're not going to put a Ballpark Frank on it. We're not going to put an Oscar Mayer on it. Wait, I'm going to put a Coney Island dog on it? No shot. Wolfgang's only. You know this thing's coming on a Martin potato bun. This is the best partnership since PB&J. Like, you kidding me? Either way, this thing's coming with spicy brown mustard, sauerkraut. And just when you thought this thing couldn't get enough flavor, just when you had that thought, this thing is drizzled with the Wolfgang's signature onion sauce. Now, follow me on this. When they first said the word that this thing had onion sauce on it, I was like, I've never had onion sauce. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not big on onions at all. Like if someone throws fried onions on my steak sandwich, I kind of get pissed off. That is how much I don't like onions. I had this hot dog. I feel like I could put onions on everything now. Like if you want to make me an egg and cheese omelet, throw a little bit of onions in there. Why not, right? Like, this hot dog is an absolute animal. And when you go to the Wolfgang's food truck to go get you one, stop at CVS, grab some Tums, grab some Pepto-Bismol. Because if you had a big breakfast and you're going with this for lunch, my man, you're going to need all the prayers that you can get. But regardless, if you want a good hot dog, then you know exactly where to get it from.
Glorious. So, the only thing I can add to that is the only thing that Dalton could be doing right now is rushing to his nearest Wolfgangs and getting the major league hot dog.
God bless.
I don't care don't care about what time of day or night it is. Put that tube of meat in your mouth. You're going to be happy in more ways than one. There's just going to be juices flowing. There's nothing about it that is considered church-like, what you're going to be doing. The only thing that might even resemble the slightest minute detail of church-like is the wave of euphoria that overcomes you after your first bite, and this onion sauce hits the tip of your tongue and then just slides down your throat. That soft, warm, just almost gel-like sauce that just slides back, and you're like, oh my goodness, I've never been touched like this. Jay, you are not wrong. You and I have been many places and gotten cheesesteaks together. You're always a win out. I'm a wit.
Oh.
That's just the way we roll. No arguments. I don't judge you. I don't tell you to go home.
I appreciate
what
that.
I do tell you though is you're free to put whatever you want in your mouth, and I will not judge you. However, I will judge anyone who doesn't want to eat this because of the onion sauce. Because the onion sauce, yo, I'd let you spit it in my mouth. It's that good. I don't care, man. That's bros, man. That's bros.
Listen, man. Wolfgangs has been doing this for a long time. And the best way that I can sum it up, they've been slapping wieners in buns since 1901. And frankly, if you're going to put a wiener in your mouth, you better make it a Wolfgang. Shout out to Wolfgangs, always sponsoring this podcast. We love you guys. We'll talk soon. We got a lot of things to work on with you guys. But love Wolfgang.
So, back to our regularly scheduled words. Let's just say, after I had that hot dog, I cleaned up, I washed my hands, wiped my face, made sure there was nothing left on my chip. And then I kind of sat there for a few seconds. I said, I want something to do with my hands. They just seem empty. They seem empty, like they need something to do. I was cleaning the other day, and I came across a few things. Some 1993 Upper Deck unopened baseball packs, just stored in the house. They were in a box. Jay, you want a rip dog? All right.
Yeah, I Yeah, I would say rip. Like,
All right.
I mean, 93?
1993.
Nope. Hold on. Before you pull one, I want to check something. Come on.
Well, let's just remember it is one of the saddest years in Philadelphia sports history.
Oh, for sure. Son. If you pull a Frank Thomas 1993 MVP card, oh, brother.
All right. Let's see what we got. All right, so first card. Let's just do this the right way. It is
Holy shit.
Vince Coleman from the Mets. All right. Ooh, here's a nice one. A nice little athletic who I just watched put a Wolfgang's in Philadelphia's hole.
Was that wow, big Mark McGuire?
Wait. Hang on. What was his nickname?
Big Mac.
Big Mac. And you called him Big Mark?
You know what?
Ooh.
I didn't even think about it.
A little weird.
That's tough. Yeah.
I'm not saying you did something wrong. I'm just saying that's a little weird to hear.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, that's tough. That's tough.
So it's a weird sentence. Like, it's just weird, but it's cool. Let's move on. Let's go to one of the more underrated players that most people don't talk about from the 90s and early 2000s. I think early 2000s. Maybe that was the tail end.
Wow. Juan Gonzalez. Jesus.
Let's see. In 92, he batted 260, 155 games, 584 at-bats, 77 runs, 152 hits, 43 homers, 109 RBIs, slugging .529 with only 35 walks. The dude was too busy to take a walk.
And big Juan Gonzalez.
Ooh, here's another great household name.
Wally Joyner. My God.
Wally Joyner. He's got 2 ready for the pin.
Jesus. Wally Joyner. That's a hell of a name.
Oh boy, Darren Fletcher.
That one ain't ringing many bells. I may have to pull up the baseball reference on that one.
No. He was a defense first catcher. Put it that way.
Yeah, I was going to say it certainly looks like it.
Yes. Nice little tidbit of information. Fletcher guided the Expos pitching staff to a 2.97 ERA in his 518 innings behind the plate in 1992. That's a solid defensive specialist.
Yeah, I ain't bad at all.
Ooh, Mr. Underrated from the 90s.
Robin Ventura. Oh, Lord. Let me tell you something. Robin Ventura may have been underrated, but that man was eating uppercuts. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Nolan, how you doing?
What's up, Nolan?
Ooh, put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse.
Terry Pendleton.
Oh,
damn,
yeah,
dude. That's a hell of a pack.
So far, yeah. I'm actually kind of happy.
Don't hate any of them. Mark Whiten.
That
one ain't ringing a bell.
That
one ain't ringing a bell.
It was okay.
Every pack's got to have a dud. It's all good.
Here you go. Here you go, man. It's one of those guys that you love to hate because when he did it, he did it.
Was it Piazza? Tim Raines.
No.
God.
A real threat on the bases. Tim Raines.
For more
high,
than one reason.
His career high, 334 average in a season. 160 games. 647 at-bats. 133 runs. 94 hits. 71 RBIs. 279 total bases. 429 on base percentage. That's just crazy. 90 stolen bases and a 91% stolen base rate. What up, dog? Here's a name that I did not know. This might be our first dud. Because I truly have never heard this name.
Gary Darcina. Yeah, no.
No clue. Played a full season. 3 homers. 42 RBIs. Middle infielder. Good for you. Oh, coup de grace on this one, buddy. This is
Joe Girardi, the big Yankee catcher. Holy smokes! Look at that head of hair.
Yankees.
Oh my
look
God,
what team that is. Look at this bastard's Lego man haircut.
I do not remember Joe Girardi ever being on the Rockies. He was there for.
I don't remember Joe Girardi ever not having gray hair or no hair.
The only
That's legit a Lego helmet. You plop that on.
Tough. Like the only thing I remember about Joe Girardi was when he caught David Cohn's perfect game. I think it was when it was like Yogi Berra and oh my God, who was the pitcher that threw the no hit?
Jim Abbott.
No-hitter for no, not Jim Abbott. Oh my God, who the hell was that? No,
Messina? No.
This was Yogi. God damn it, who did Yogi?
Whitey Ford.
It was. It's because this is gonna kill me. Don Larson. He caught Don Larson's perfect game.
Don Larson, yes. All right. So I got 3 more packs. Let's do one more, and I'll save the other 2 for next week.
I say we do one a week. I say we just keep it at 1. So that way it gives us something to look forward to for the next couple of weeks.
Well, in fairness, seeing each other is always something to look forward to.
Fair enough.
I get it. Brother, that was fun. Those were some names, some haircuts, and goddamn some stats.
Yeah. Nah, I can't believe you got a Tim Raines in there, though. That's hysterical. Like, not because Tim Raines is actually like a Hall of Famer, but because all I think about is the Coke vials that were in his pockets that made him slide headfirst in the bag so he didn't break them open. That's all I care about with Tim Raines.
Yeah, respect, man. Rush, get that, yeah. But I think dude, tell me that 100% should be his walk-up song. It just reminds me of Scarface. But dude, you got to look at some of these guys and you're like, damn, dude, what happened, Wally Joyner? Juan Gonzalez, did you finally get nabbed? Vince Coleman, you were kind of a stud a couple times, man. You had a great career. Vince Coleman, 6-time National League stolen base leader. He led the majors in steals in 93 at the All-Star break with 37.
Ain't bad at all.
At this rate, Chandler Simpson might have 50.
Yeah. So it is about that time, and I know you guys are so upset because, we do have to stop these episodes at some point. But before we go, it is time for final thoughts. And I'll start off as Rich had to run out real quick. Just a couple. Number 1, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast. It is always awesome getting to sit here and talk baseball with Rich for, whether it's 45 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's an hour and a half. Just being able to talk ball is a nice change of pace from life and, everything that's going on in the world. So this has been awesome. It's been a great getaway, and I hope that the people listening to this podcast feel the same way, that, this is your, an hour and however much change of just being able to relax and, just enjoy your evening with a nice podcast. My second thought is that there is finally, I know you guys are so excited, there is finally an episode of Behind the Seams that was uploaded, I want to say yesterday, on Thursday, May 7th, or no, it might have been today. It was uploaded today, Friday, May 8th. Sorry. But it is on a baseball player named Harry O'Neill. It's not one of the longer episodes, but there is a lot of meaning behind the episode, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. I have about, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 that I started writing. I'm just trying to slowly make my way through them. That way I have them done, written, and all I have to do is record after that. So, new Behind the Seams is up. And then for my third final thought, just want to redirect everybody. We're on TikTok, Instagram, we're all over the socials, and there may be a couple things happening in the future that I'm currently trying to work the kinks out on, but when I have more information, I will gladly give it out. But you know where to find us. TikTok, Instagram, you can watch the shorts from the podcast. Always a lot going on over there. Richie, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah. So, as always, let me start off with, on this day in baseball history, which May 8th, I love that date for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but I love that date. May 8th, 2001, Randy Johnson became the third pitcher to strike out 20 batters in the game. Though the game went in extra, he pitched the 9 innings, did not go into extra, so his doesn't feel the same as Roger Clemens and Kerry Woods, because both of them completed their games within the 9. So he's also the only left-hander to do it, which is kind of crazy throughout all the lefties in history. You got Oral, you got Lefty Carlton, you got CeCe. Like, there's so many lefties throughout history. Kershaw that just didn't do it. But like I said, only 3 players all time have done it. No real important birthdays, no death days. The only important birthday is mine. Just saying.
Hell yeah, brother. I know I texted you early this morning, wishing you a happy birthday.
It was like 12:15 in the morning.
They're like, yeah. But figure before the clock strikes midnight, wish you another happy birthday as well.
Dog, I love you. Thank you.
Love you, pal.
But let's move into the final thought. This one may perhaps be controversial, or as some people say, may have. So, several years ago, I mentioned it earlier, on the team that our Weenie of the Week came from, the Houston Astros, when they got caught cheating in 2017, I believe is the correct year?
Yeah.
Yes. Their first and third base coaches were the alleged sign stealers. That has been part of the suspicions for many years, that the first and third base coaches were main perpetrators in the theft of signs, and why one of the many reasons that the Astros were very successful. However, those coaches have made their return to a team that is absolutely dominating this year. It is the best team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. Listen, I know that this big dumb government just released a whole bunch of information about alien and extraterrestrial activity that was declassified today. On my birthday. Thanks for the present. But I'd rather look into all of the potential tomfoolery that's going on with some new base coaches in Atlanta.
I think that's fair.
It's a little wild, but who doesn't like a little bit of conspiracy theory from time to time? Oh, hey, Hank. I'm glad you joined. You're the best, bud.
What the hell was that?
He just jumped up and was like, I want to hear conspiracy theories too. He was like, oh, we're talking mischief. I'm in.
That was quite the jump.
So, yeah, dude, that was nice. He went full. He showed his strong jaw. You know what he did on screen? He looked maxed. He looked maxed. So, that's just, it's a little bit of that eerie type shit. I don't typically believe in conspiracy theories, but this one just seems a little bit too, kind of makes sense. Could be something there. But that's all I got to say about that. That was far as go. Dude, it's been an event-filled episode.
Yeah, no doubt.
Imagine if we had a Patreon, what they would have seen.
Yeah, this would have been a long episode if this was a Patreon episode. Like,
yeah,
a long episode.
Completely unexpected, hilarious, awkward, and most importantly, entertaining.
Yeah, that is true.
But you know what time it is, Jack.
Indeed I do. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Drunks on the Pond, episode 77. You know who it is. That's Richie Six Beers. I'm Jay the Kid, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champion. And we will see you all next week. But before that, Z, I need you to do me a favor, baby. I need you to hit that music because it's time for us to get the hell on out of here. Peace.